Hey guys, I'm Matt. Today we're at the Cox Arboretum in Canton, Georgia to talk about our top 5 favorite ginkgos of the week at the Cox Arboretum. Now the Cox Arboretum hat even has a ginkgo symbol on it, so I know it's one of Tom's personal favorites.
We love ginkgos here at Mr. Maple. In fact, we have MrGinkgo.com as well. Directs you to the ginkgo page on Mr. Maple. Ginkgos are amazing. They're easy to grow, and I love ginkgos. The yellow they provide in the fall is just outstanding. Today we've got top 5 ginkgos at the Cox Arboretum in Canton, Georgia. Number 5.
So today we're going to get into it first with Ginkgo biloba, David. Now this is actually a tree we gifted Tom a couple years ago when he was visiting our nursery, so we had to get this one on here and talk about it. David is a nice upright male with a very, very rounded canopy as it matures.
This was a selection by David Bomer of the Netherlands. Amazing nursery that's introduced a lot of amazing ginkgos. David was named after David Bomer by his parents. Amazing little compact ginkgo tree. And as you can see, this tree is getting denser and denser. And that's exactly what David does. It's a ginkgo that doesn't take up a lot of space, but fills in the space that it has. Love this ginkgo for how it has that tighter, compact shape to it. And definitely gives you that bright school bus yellow that everyone loves with ginkgos.
Yeah, here in a few weeks, this one will really be still in the show here in the garden, where it's that school bus yellow, really bright color, and who doesn't love a ginkgo in perfect fall color? Number 4. Guys, you've heard us talk about the next one on the list here a lot. This one's Ginkgo biloba, American.
This one has got the ACS Conifer of the Year award before. We love this dwarf compact ginkgo. What this plant does, fits in smaller spaces, very dense, shrub-like, bush-like habit with some electric yellow fall color for ginkgos.
Tom said a lot of times the ones lower to the ground are getting into fall color earlier, and you can see with this dwarf, that's exactly what it's doing. American is a compact, dense dwarf. It was introduced in the Netherlands by Piet Vergelt and named for his wife. American is an amazing dwarf ginkgo. You can see this one's really starting to color up and hit some of that electric yellow that make ginkgos quintessential for the fall garden.
American is a great plant to use in the small places in your garden. Also great for containers. Always remember to lime your trees even in the containers. You're going to want to do that even with the dwarfs so they get that nice, full, dense habit for you that everyone loves with those rounded dwarf ginkgos. Number 3. Next up, we have one of our favorite ginkgos, Ginkgo biloba, Chichi.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a bad word. It may mean a bad word. This one kind of has these stalactite-like growths. There's some real mature people at the Ginkgo Naming Institute. A lot of people think this one means boobs, and it gets these protrusions that hang down like stalactites from the bark. It's a really interesting ginkgo with great fall color. I love its rounded overall canopy. Ginkgo biloba Chichi has some awesome interest though. I love that bark interest to it. Oftentimes I like to describe this as stalactite-like growth, so like cave formations where they're weeping down. They have those stalactites that come down from the cave, and that's exactly what you get with Chichi. We've actually got some bald cypress knees going up, so we've got some stalagmites and some stalactites hanging out here in this garden.
Yeah, love this tree. Definitely gives you a nice, small, rounded shape, but then that extra bark interest and then some really good fall colors. This specimen here is just starting to bark up. It's getting to that age where it really starts to get some of that Chichi type growth.
Number 2. Guys, we're here with Ginkgo biloba, Princeton Century, another classic upright male ginkgo.
Also known as Ginkgo biloba Princeton. Love this ginkgo, really nice male selection with a really nice form to it. Love this plant, definitely more rounded in its shape and it's definitely more narrow overall. Love Princeton Century, makes a great tree out in the landscape and garden for someone who's looking for an upright male ginkgo selection.
We had to get this one on camera. It's lighting up the Arboretum back here at the Cox Arboretum. We're right back here at the back of the pond area, and this one doesn't have wet feet. They don't want to be boggy or wet feet, but it's in great fall color, and it is just a spark of color back here in this deciduous conifer garden.
Number 1.
So last but certainly not least here, we have Ginkgo biloba Grindstone, an awesome columnar ginkgo here at the Cox Arboretum.
That came from the Fly exit in Fly, Ohio, and there's a grindstone there at that exit that's in the ground that's got this huge grindstone, and that's where it got the name of Grindstone.
I never knew that.
Yeah, and it's just right there at this rest area. and these ginkgos are just super narrow, and the most narrow form got selected as Ginkgo Biloba Grindstone.
I love this one for its tall, narrow habit there in the landscape. We're getting a little bit more fall color on this one started. I'm sure Tom's going to find just the perfect spot to put this one out to enjoy some great fall color. Tom, you've got a huge ginkgo collection here at the Cox Arboretum. What are some of your favorite things about ginkgos in general?
Well, again, the history of them, they're old plants or survivors. You know, fall color is a given on these. It's reliable every year. You're just going to know, and some of these selections, they color up at various times. You saw some at the gate earlier.
Yeah.
One is in full yellow bloom or color, and the other one is still green. So I think genetics plays a role in that. So depending on what your selection is, they're versatile. You want to generally select a male, and I would say there's a good chance when you get a name cultivar, it's going to be a male plant. So a lot of these are so small and diminutive, they're not going to produce fruit anyway. So there's a lot of hype about that.
Right.
I think that's overhyped. But the other one here, Grindstone, this particular cultivar, I think there's variations of this in the trade. Not all of them are this good. This particular one, you'll notice how ascendant or upright these branches are growing. And I can tell because I guess I've got a trained eye by now. You can look at this and see it's going to be a good upright plant. It's not going to require much, if any, pruning to keep it going well. But they're versatile, easy to grow. As the Nichols brothers have mentioned several times, they need lime to do their best. They will do okay, but they'll do their best with lime. They don't want to dry out, so they don't want to be real wet, but they don't want to be real dry either. So find that intermediate spot there, plant it, leave it alone, give it some mulch, and you'll be rewarded with color like this year after year after year, and probably not going to lose it.
Yeah, they're tough as nails. Guys, special thanks to Tom and Evelyn Cox for your hospitality here at the Cox Arboretum. We've filmed so many top fives here. There's a lot of fun videos coming. We love ginkgos, so we couldn't help but get some of your amazing specimens here on camera. And I hope you've enjoyed this look at the top 5 ginkgos of the week at the Cox Arboretum.
Thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Remember to shop on MrMaple.com. Check out his book. You can go to coxgardens.com and get his book, Landscaping with Conifers and Ginkgos for the Southeast. coxgardens.com. You can contact him, get an autographed copy. Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.